Welcome back, everyone, to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. We're on the United show this evening. Devil's Advocate, and today it's the biggest game in English football. It's the big preview here today for the second time in the last couple of weeks, because we all know what happened a couple of weeks ago. This is finally going to be Manchester United versus Liverpool in the Premier League at Old Trafford. Big game this season. Two teams fighting for two very different things in the Premier League at the moment. So as always, when both teams have something to fight for, there's always an edge with this game. So this evening, we are joined by Manchester United and Liverpool fans here today. So it'd be good to get started here today. So making his return to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast here today, one of the OGs since we first started, Mr. Gary Egan, our resident Liverpool fan on the channel, has returned. How's it going, Gary?
Good, Keane. How are we getting on?
Very good now, very good. You know, apart from last night's result, you know, I'm all good today. You know, nice day in Clonmel, you know yourself, you know, so apart from that, you know, I'm all good today.
Good result for you, bad result for us.
Greg, haven't seen you in a couple of days. I know you're on the show on Monday on Three Devils and a Gooner.
Yeah.
On Monday, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
I know you got your vaccine today.
I did. I got my second vaccine. I'm still alive. Don't have any blood clots or anything yet. We're doing good.
Yeah, so you haven't been hacked by Bill Gates or anything like that yet. No, you're all good.
Not yet. No, my Wi-Fi signal's really good in my house now, though, all of a sudden. So.
Right. I'm going to come to a couple of comments there. Rory is in the house as always. Rory says evening. John Arnold is also in the house here today as well. John says evening. Victoria's Secrets is also in the house as always. Howdy, folks. How's it going? Very good evening. Also, I'm going to bring in Amy. She's just joined us there now as well. What's going on with my laptop here? Why is it fucking up here? Right, there you go. Amy, can you hear me?
I can.
How are you going? How's it going today? You just jumped off another podcast.
Yeah, I'm grand.
That's good. That's good. So, guys, we're here to talk all things Manchester United, all things Liverpool. Again, as it is, as always, biggest game in English football. It's rare we get this game in May. Usually this game is usually played by Christmas, then February or March. But we're getting this game in May, so business end of the season for the biggest game of the season. It's madness. But, as always, there's always a big match feel, big fight feel to this game. Before we get to the game itself, obviously, there was a game played last night at Old Trafford last night against Leicester City. A second string Manchester United side was out last night. We were defeated 2-1. I actually have a few positives to take from the game out of the performance. I know Greg probably feels a bit different, but we'll get to that in a moment. I think last night, look, I think for me, I'm just going to open up and I say, like, look, Mason Greenwood, I think for me, despite the 2-1 loss, I thought at the age of 19 last night showed a lot of maturity in his game, considering he was playing around a couple of youngsters last night. I thought Nemanja Matic, I thought he actually played very well last night. I thought it was one of his best performances in quite some time. I thought he was very good. I thought Telles kind of redeemed himself from last Thursday as well. I think he was, you know, we seen, you know, his performance in Rome last Thursday wasn't the best, but, you know, I thought he really redeemed himself and it was great to see him kind of put in a good performance. Greg, I'm going to come to you first with regards to last night's game. I didn't get a chance to talk to you much yesterday evening because I was on a watch-along live on Adam's channel yesterday, and I ended up going into the group chat and I seen you weren't very happy after the game. Explain what you thought of yesterday's performance and overall just kind of what your feelings were coming out of the game.
Yeah, well, in general, like it wasn't much more than sort of, when I saw the team, in fact, that obviously we've got the game in 2 days and we played on Sunday. I wasn't greatly shocked at the team and I wasn't greatly shocked about the result. I was stunned that we scored a goal and I thought the boys played really well for the most part. The majority of them played really well. Like you said, Greenwood looked mature. Telles redeemed himself after being awful on Thursday. Matic, who I also never a fan of, sort of after the first 5-6 minutes, he really got into the game and was really working hard. He was managing to press us out of situations as well and carrying the ball forward, which he hasn't done in a long time in a Man United shirt. So he did really well. But the one person that didn't do anything, again, in a Man United shirt was Donny van de Beek. Like, he's meant to be a Champions League quality footballer, Like we were told that when he signed that, oh, he's great. Like Real Madrid wanted him like the season before he signed, and he beat Real Madrid in the Champions League and was apparently a star man in that performance. Last night he was playing with a bunch of children. Literally, you would think someone with a bit of something about him would really take the game by the scruff of the neck and pick up the ball and really show everyone what he could do. But the game went past him, and the game's gone past him all season. Like it looks like players actively avoid passing to him because they know they get the ball straight back. Because that's what he does. He gets the ball and then kicks it straight back from where it came from and then does like a little half turn, which is fine. But the position that it's fine if you can work around that. And you might get away with it if you've got a Rashford and a Bruno and things like that to actually be the facilitators. But last night was his job. And last night he had a chance to really show Man United fans and show Ollie, like, people are complaining he's not getting minutes. He wouldn't get minutes playing in the Championship at that level. He was awful. Like, the game went completely by him. Like, and he's meant to be this great, fantastic footballer. And I just thought he's been so bad. And he doesn't merit being in that squad at all. And I said last night in the chat as well, like, signing him has been a worse decision than letting Lingard go on loan. Because if Lingard plays that game last night, we at least get someone with a bit of effort and something about him. And
look at Amy's. I've seen Amy's facial expression just change the minute you mentioned Jesse Lingard.
But he's honestly done nothing. Like, he's genuinely done nothing. If we got rid of him in the summer, I wouldn't care less. Like, I would pay someone to take. He's off. He's not a Man United player. Like, he's just not. He doesn't bring enough. He doesn't do enough. He still thinks he's in the Eredivisie. He picks up the ball, waits a fortnight to pass it, and then loses it. Or his defending last night as well was so poor, letting Maddison getting shots from range, like, once he came on. He's just not a Man United player in any sense of the word.
Yeah, look, again, it was probably a missed opportunity for Donny to really show his quality yesterday. But before I get to Amy's thoughts, Shane is in the comments tonight. And it's also, guys, it's also Shane's birthday today. So everyone in the comments, do wish Shane a happy birthday today. He's turned 40 today, so if you want to wish him a happy birthday, please do. But anyway, he's going to kill me for that now. But anyway, Amy, what were your thoughts on the performance? Matt got his kind of swan song at Old Trafford yesterday. You were happy to see him in the starting lineup yesterday. Another player who made his debut yesterday was Amad Diallo. I thought it was a very good performance from Diallo yesterday. What are your thoughts on Amad Diallo?
Yeah, I mean, I know there was a lot of talk of people like Ollie not wanting to throw him into the deep end too quick, but he actually showed touches of class last night, to be honest, and I would actually start him ahead of Dan James anymore. I think kind of getting him into the Premier League vibe will help him a lot, to be honest. And yeah, the overall game, to be honest, I wasn't expecting too much considering the lineup, so I was actually expecting the scoreline to be a lot worse. To be honest, what I did think that let us down the most was the pace in midfield. Obviously, Mata and Matic are very slow, but Van de Beek has no pace either, and he was actually quite slow to pass the ball too. So to be honest, I think it was just the midfield that let us down yesterday, and considering the lineup, I thought the scoreline was going to be a lot worse.
Yeah, like, look, when I seen the lineup yesterday, I'll be honest, I thought we were going to get peppered yesterday. I really did. I thought, like, with the lack of mobility in midfield, and you see, like, Tielemans and Didi in midfield, I always say Perez, I thought they could really press us. But to be fair, I think for large parts of the game, we did hold our own. I think it just, at the end, it just came, I said on Adam's watch-along yesterday, I said, you know, that I think the second half would show us where this kind of squad is at, like, in terms of match fitness. Like, will they die off after around 65, 70 minutes? And it was evident, I think, around then we really started to slow down. And you could see, though, we dropped back and we struggled to get out of our own half. But again, like, look, I'm not going to criticize, because this is a team that hasn't played much together at all. Like, the team that started yesterday, and there was kids playing, like Elanga's first start as well. I thought he looked bright in bits. But again, very tough game to kind of come in on your Premier League debut against Leicester City, who are one of the best teams in the league. So, by all means, it was a difficult situation for some players, but a lot of players did hold their own as well yesterday. So, not happy at the result. Like, obviously, never happy losing a game of football, but for some players, you know, I'm happy with some of the players' performances yesterday. And look, there's plenty of games left between now and the end of the season for these players to maybe try twist Ollie's hand. Do you know what I mean? A player like Matic yesterday, if he can continue playing that for the rest of the season, can he maybe give himself a shout for the Europa League final? Like, do you know what I mean? Eric Bailly, Tulzabi, because Maguire's out now for the rest of the season and he's struggling to get 50 Europa League final. Can they maybe, twist Ollie's hand? So there's plenty of games left this season to kind of give Ollie something to think about. Gary, I'm going to come to you on this. Obviously, you're a Liverpool fan, and look, I think a lot of Liverpool fans wanted United to win yesterday. But aside from that, what did you make of the performance, considering we made 10 changes?
Like the first thing I seen when I looked at the team sheet, like I love like players coming through and stuff like that. And I was looking at things and I was like, who the F is that? Who's that? And I was like, it was good that I was giving them the chance, but like I don't think they wanted Liverpool to beat him and have the thing of the team was too tired. I think Ollie did the right thing. That the performance was good. Greenwood, lads, you have a superstar there in your hands if he keep him grounded. He could be bigger than Michael Owen if he keeps going. Like Matic is just, I think he's probably one of the, as in his prime, he's probably as good as N'Golo Kante. He just can break up play like that. He's as good as Fabinho. It's just United had an awful lot of positives. The negatives was it was still a strong enough team. He probably should have at least got a draw against them. That would be probably my controversial moment. But if Liverpool put out their second string, Leicester probably would have hockeyed them 3-0. Like, so you got an awful lot better than what I would have expected Liverpool with their second string.
Yeah, look, again, I think a lot of us thought yesterday, like, we're going to get beat about 3-0, 3-1. But to be fair, it was for large parts the team did well. And again, look, I hope to see a couple of these youngsters like Diallo and Elanga. And even, look, I'm going to say it again, and Amy probably thinks I'm a broken record here, but give Shola Short-Here a call up. I think if you're going to give a young player a call up from the academy, bring up Shola Short-Here. I rate this man so much. Like, he's such a good young player in that under 23s. Shane's in the comments. I know he'll back me up here. Like, Short-Here is just, he's top notch. If you're going to give young players a go towards the end of the season, let's give him a game. Let's give Hannibal a game. Let's get these players some first team minutes, and let's see if they can push the likes of Rashford and a Martial next season. I'm going to come to a couple of comments because the comments are flying tonight, guys. I'm loving this. We've comment here. It says, I can't even load it up here. What's going on? It says, "Your happy womb Liberators Day, Shane." We also we have a comment in here from Andy. I don't think he's happy. Gary says we're going to send you to the Europa League. We also have a comment in from Rachel. Rachel is in the house, and Rachel says yesterday was Manchester United creche / retirement home. Victoria's Secrets is also in the comments and says good opportunity in these last few league games to give fringe players and younger players some game time with top 4 already guaranteed. Absolutely. I think, like, you look at it, I think we need 4 points or something, or a point out of the rest of the game, something to get second place. So, like, look, I think it's imperative that these players get a game. Aaron touches on Jurgen Klopp's comments today, which I was actually going to come to in a while. He says Klopp was agreeing with Ollie's decision to make that many changes. He said he would have done the same because of the amount of games we had. Yeah, look, at the fixture congestion is madness at the moment. I think, look, Ollie, for player welfare reasons, you would have had to do. You would have had to do that. Jay is also in the house. Jay says, big up to everyone in the stream. And big up to yourself, Jay. Thanks very much for tuning in tonight. Smash a like in the video if you haven't already. Smash a like on the video if you think Mason Greenwood was man of the match last night. Also, Shane is also in the comments in here as well. He says, surprised Short-Here didn't play yesterday. He's also baffled and Hannibal hasn't got his debut yet. In my opinion, he's the best of the 23s. Yeah, he's a very good raw talent. I can't wait to see Hannibal get a chance in this squad because I think he has that X factor and I think he's someone who can definitely make a difference. I'm going to come to you, Greg, with this question. Like, we look at Mason Greenwood this season, right? And a lot of people were comparing Bukayo Saka to him saying Saka, Greenwood. I thought these comparisons were absolutely ludicrous. I thought these were just fans from different clubs trying to point score because, look, at the end of the day, they've nothing else to really cheer on this season. Looking at the former Mason Greenwood now, and again, all the support I gave him before Christmas, I think we just have to look at this and say he's proven all his doubters wrong this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I don't just think he's proved doubters wrong, because I don't think there was very many people that doubted how good he could be. I think there was a lot of people after what happened in Iceland, and he was just really. I said on Monday's show that he was a young kid being a young kid. That he's 19 years old. He's gonna do these things. I think no one doubted the potential he had, but they doubted whether he was going to act on that. And like Gary said, keep his feet on the ground and just stay at that level, because you're 19 years old playing for Manchester United. Like that's a tough gig. And I just think he's proved a lot of people right. He's proved Ollie right with sticking with him as well, because very easily he could have went off the boil with him there. He could have not trusted him. It could have been the same situation as we had a little while ago with Rashford, when he was sort of not he wasn't a favourite, but when he was getting brought off in games when we didn't think he was, rather than being moved into the central areas to provide for a winger coming on and things like that, when Rashford was still maybe going to play through the centre. But he seems to have shown faith in Greenwood, and he's playing him more for the middle, and that's where he's scoring all his goals, and he's obviously learning really well from Cavani. You can tell that he really sees him as a mentor. But yeah, I think he's definitely proved a lot of people wrong, but he's proved a lot of people right, and a lot of important people that sort of make the decisions at Man United and possibly England. I don't know what England will end up doing with the Euros, but I think if you're getting 26, if you want another, you're not going to find a more natural finisher other than Harry Kane than Mason Greenwood to be in that England squad. And he's another option. He can play out wide, he can play through the centre, and he's someone that you could bring along in that 26. So maybe he's done enough to convince them as well.
Yeah, and I think from the Scotland point of view, you probably don't want to see that happen, because I think if Mason Greenwood gets at your defence against McTominay as a right-sided centre-back,
I'm telling you,
you could give him problems.
Run on a half volley in the 92nd minute at 0-0 and just crack it from about 30 yards. That's happening at Wembley. I've dreamt it. It's happening.
The more you keep saying this, you're just speaking it into existence. It might happen.
He's getting a tattoo Amy. And all if it happens.
I am. Scotland beat England at Wembley. I'm getting a McTominay tattoo. 100%.
Max off.
Oh, love him.
Amy, you've obviously been, regardless of all the form at the start of the season, you were a very big supporter of Mason Greenwood. When you look at the form of him now, do you maybe think he can break Wayne Rooney's all-time goal scoring record, considering his goals ratio improving consistently, and he's only 19?
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the start of the season, he had his own personal issues going on with everything outside football. So Ollie wasn't playing him in that regard. So when he did come back, it was going to take him a couple of weeks to get back into the swing of things. But I'm absolutely delighted for him, to be honest, because he's 19 years of age and he's already shown that he is unbelievable. Can you imagine him when he's 21, 22? Like, he's actually going to be unbelievable. So I definitely think he's going to beat Wayne Rooney's score if he keeps improving. And I think with the likes of Cavani at the club for another year, it's going to benefit him massively. So yeah, definitely I think he will break Rooney's record.
Yeah, look, I think at the age, and if he keeps scoring the way he is now, and when he becomes striker, like he's playing right wing for most of his United career, when he eventually does move into the middle, we're gonna see even a better Mason Greenwood. He kind of reminds me of Robin van Persie, with the way he finishes and the way he moves. He reminds me so much about Van Persie. So 100%, he's a player who I think can reach so many different levels. I was going to come to a couple of other comments as well, because Shane has a couple of questions for us. So I have to scroll back up. Shane, we will come to this later on in the show. We will come with a combined 11 of some sort, because we do have a similar kind of question with regards to Liverpool and United. So we will come to that later on in the show. Where is it now? It's a question for Gary. Shane has a question for Gary with regards to... Whoa, this is a big one. So, question for Gary. I recall at the start of the season, Liverpool fans saying neither Pogba or Bruno would get into their team. Have Liverpool fans been humbled, or are they still drinking the Jordan Henderson Kool-Aid? Well, that's a
I'll just take a sip of my Jordan Henderson Kool-Aid now. Bruno, yes, I mean, he's not just a half a season wonder. He's proved that he can do it in the Premier League consistently. See, I'll eat my humble pie on that one. Pogba, I'm still going to be very Graham Souness on this one and just say that I would have Henderson in my team ahead of Pogba any day of the week.
Oh man, I don't know. For me, Paul Pogba on his day.
I'm going by the style of football that Jurgen Klopp plays, and
Greg, you're muted.
Henderson. I'd have it in that team. He's probably swearing to himself.
No, I said Henderson. Pogba wouldn't work in
Klopp's.
He doesn't work really.
No. And Henderson couldn't play Pogba's role at United either, so I would keep Henderson 100% where he is.
Yeah, I think it's understandable. I think people have their own choice, and that's fair enough. That's what we're all about in this channel is fan opinion. Football United TV also in the comments saying big up Amy and all. Absolutely welcome to the channel, and it's first time in the comments site. Always welcome new faces in the comments. But on the topic of tomorrow's game, obviously, look, the reason why this game is getting played tomorrow rather than played 2 weeks ago is because there was a fan protest at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago where we did make our voices heard. Now, obviously, again, we touched on it a couple of weeks ago. There is some things that happen that we don't agree with collectively as a group, but the idea behind the protest, I'm massively behind. Obviously, Greg, look, I'm going to come to you first with regards to this because Old Trafford, not Old Trafford, sorry, Manchester United released a statement from the Glazers and they said they want to be more transparent. They want to communicate more with the fans. They want to build a relationship with the fans. The Glazers now have put a wall around Old Trafford like Donald Trump has done Mexico. Yeah. What are your thoughts kind of leading into this protest tomorrow?
In terms of putting the things up around Old Trafford, because of what happened, that's just sensible. They're not going to be there when fans are allowed to go into stadiums. It's not going to be a case of that. It's to stop things like the protests, like what happened 2 weeks ago. And really, as I said in the chat before, anyone that gets within spitting distance of Old Trafford is either going to get knocked out by a copper or lifted. Like, those are the two things that are going to happen. Like, that's all that's going to happen tomorrow. If people, and this one doesn't seem, the one 2 weeks ago built, and it was all over social media. Everywhere you looked, it was people talking about the protest, and it's just not, it doesn't feel like it's going to have the same drive. I'm not saying there won't be a lot of people, and obviously it's still for the same, like, really good cause. But in terms of what the decision to put things around Old Trafford, that's just, to me, that's just smart from Man United. Like, Old Trafford's their asset. As much as the Glazers don't put into it and they don't care about it, it's still their asset, and they're not going to let people, especially when it causes games and things to be cancelled. That's what they want to avoid. So they're putting things up around Old Trafford. I see that just as smart. But I can't see tomorrow's protest. It just doesn't seem like it's got the same momentum. Like the one 2 weeks ago, like I said, was building on social media for a week. We were talking about it on the pre-show as it happened, that there was a lot of people outside, and we knew like the night before there was going to be about 10,000 fans at Old Trafford. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's got that sort of momentum behind it this time round. And it doesn't mean that it's not like these people care less or anything like that, because they absolutely don't. They're still going for the same cause and everything. But I think I wonder if people have started to look at a more pragmatic way to sort of get at the Glazers, because like they don't care about Old Trafford. So breaking into Old Trafford to them doesn't do anything. What they're doing with like getting their sponsors to like back away and stuff, that'll hurt the Glazers' pockets. That'll do more, I feel, than sort of entering a stadium and having a fight with a policeman.
Yeah, look, I think for me, from what I've seen, I don't know, I've seen a lot up behind the protest tomorrow, to be honest, on all social media. I talked to a lot of Manchester United fans on Twitter, like through DMs and stuff, just chatting about football, and fans who are based over in England. And the feeling I'm getting is there is still going to be a lot at the protest tomorrow. I think some United fans are taking the conscious decision not posting up as much about it, probably because of what happened the last time. I think the way it is, I think that people are taking a lot more notice over this protest. I think there's going to be obviously a lot more police presence tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I think is only right because of what happened. But look, when you look at it, for me, all the fans, they all have a right to protest. And at the end of the day, go there, make your voices heard. Get on Sky Sports. Make sure the broadcasters are talking about it tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, we need to get these bastards out of our football club. They're hemorrhaging money out of this football club. And people can talk about, right, I just want to touch on this. People say there's certain people within the football world, and I'm going to name them Richard Keys, Andy Gray, absolute dinosaurs when it comes to broadcasters and pundits. That's what I'm going to call them. They're dinosaurs. And if you want to talk about them as people, they're not really the nicest of people, are they? But we're not going to go there because, look, I don't want to swear. So I'm going to leave it at that. But, like, for them to say, right, that the reason why Manchester United fans are protesting against the Glazers is because we're not winning the title. That is so uneducated and so stupid to make that claim. 2005, we didn't want to win the football club in the first place. There was massive protests at that time to not get him into the football club. 2009, the year after, 2009-2010 season, the year after we won the fucking Champions League, the Green and Gold campaign started. David Beckham came back to Old Trafford. He's at the forefront of that. So, like, and then again, it's happening now as well. It happened when we were successful, and it's happened when we're on the rebuild. So, for people to say it's about, like, us not spending money, it's us about the Glazers, we're not winning the title every year. It's not about that. It's the fact of the matter is they haven't put a penny into Old Trafford. They're hemorrhaging £2 billion out of the football club. They haven't built a relationship with the fans over 16 years. And the first ever statement that a Glazer came out with at this football club was through a fucking Liverpool website when they announced the introduction of the European fucking Super League. So for people to say that, we're only doing this because we're not winning the league, do your fucking research. If you're going to be a broadcaster, if you're going to get paid massive money by these big companies, at least do your fucking research before you talk about a topic like this, because at the end of the day, you're so fucking stupid. You're just, I don't know. I said I didn't want to swear, but I think I'm after leaving that, dropping that out the window, to be quite honest. But Amy, we both know we have mutual friends who went to the protests, and we've seen a lot of great things at the two protests that we've had in the last month or so. What are your thoughts tomorrow? Because again, look, massive eyes are going to be on this tomorrow. It's going to be on Sky Sports. Do you think we're going to get that same message across that we have the last 2 weeks?
Being completely honest, I'm on the same wave as Greg here. I have seen nothing about this protest. Like, absolutely nothing. I feel like it's just kind of died down now, unless people are just keeping it within themselves or whatever and not broadcasting over social media and stuff. But I've seen nothing, and no one that's been talking to me has said anything about it. I don't know, to be honest, but maybe there will be a crowd there that'll turn up. Obviously, United are expecting a crowd because they put up the barriers. Sky Sports probably there. They probably be expecting a crowd, especially because of what happened last week.
1-0 Arsenal, sorry.
What?
1-0 Arsenal, sorry.
Oh no, what?
Sorry, Amy.
Continue, Amy.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there will be a crowd, but to be honest, I've seen nothing. But as long as it is a nice, peaceful protest, no violence, no vandalism, we'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to come to Victoria's Secret's comments here, because it goes in line with what I say. It says, Keys and Gray make Ryan Giggs look like he has morals. Well. Wow. Jesus.
I nearly spat my water out.
That was
no
brilliant.
comment.
That was quite good.
No comment. Gary, obviously the result of the protest 2 weeks ago has resulted in this game being rescheduled. To be honest, from a Man United fans' point of view, I can understand Liverpool's kind of gripe at the situation, because it's after kind of hurting me nearly more. It's after hurting us, considering the whole rescheduling of the games and stuff like that. But putting that aside, what's your ultimate thoughts on kind of the situation with the Glazer ownership, kind of from an outside point of view?
Like, for many a year, all I've ever heard Man United fans complain about when it came to the club was the fact that, you know, the Glazers are hemorrhaging money and stuff like that. And I never really seen it until I seen an article about the state of Old Trafford. Like, apparently it's just fallen apart, shall we say. It's gone into disrepair. That they're saying it could take a couple of $100 million to bring it back to its luster, its glory. Like, one of the greatest stadiums in England. You got to call a spade on that one. Like, Liverpool have shown Manchester United that if you put pressure on a board enough, you will get owners out. Like, we harassed Hicks and Gillette for the best part of 2 years. Like, really, like, every time, like, I went to Anfield a good bit in 2008, 2009, and we tortured them. Like, there was protest after protest after protest. And I think he finally realised that maybe that's what you need to do. Like, they're not going to want to, like, they're happy enough to keep the club ridden with debt, but why you need to affect the fans, need to affect the Glazers at the pocket. That's the only way. If 30,000 fans turn up to Old Trafford, that will affect the Glazers. Also, it'll affect the team. So, from a fan's point of view, what are you going to do? So, it's really tough that way. I like, and just say if I wasn't a Liverpool fan, there'd be sympathy from a Liverpool fan. Like, when we were going through our troubles, like, we got laughed at by United, saying, "No, we're the greatest club in the world." Like, and you were winning Champions Leagues, and we were falling to 7th and 8th in the table. Like, so I count your blessings at the fact you're still challenging for leagues in this current climate.
Yeah, look, again, I don't think the reason why I want these lads out, like, again, I'll just make myself kind of clear, is it's not about challenging for the title. It's not about winning the Champions League. It's not that. It's the fact that there's been no transparency from these owners in 16 years and what they've done. You look at the things like Old Trafford Fund, and you look at the Super League thing, and they try to align United going into the Super League like when the time Sir Matt Busby brought United into the European Cup in 1958. They try to make them two situations similar. They're absolutely fucking brain dead to try align them two situations. Fucking brain dead. Paul is in the house. In the comments here this evening, Paul says, "Evening, Keane, Amy, Greg, and Liverpool fan Egan in." I just wanted to throw a disclaimer. I changed Gary's name to hashtag Egan in because we'll get to that later on the show. But his name is actually Gary. So, but everyone in the comments, if you're watching, smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Also in the comments, let's get this trending. Hashtag Egan in. Get this trending on Twitter as well. Get hashtag Egan in the comments right now. But anyway, obviously, look, I hope the protest goes successful tomorrow. I want us to get our voices heard. And also, you know, look, we get the 3 points because, look, for me, that's also a massive, massive thing. Paul's in the house also, again, the comments, and Paul says, "Hi, Gary." So it looks like he's saying our old thing we used to say in work. When, like, me and Gary used to work with each other. And every time we used to see each other on the floor and work, he'd be like, "Hello, Gary." I'm like, "Hello, Keane." He'd be like that kind of nice, awkward,
very formal.
Very formal, yeah. But then we'd chat about football then for all times. So we're always very formal with our greetings. It's almost like when Phil Neville and Gary, it's almost like when Phil and Gary Neville talked to each other on Monday Night Football that time. Remember? And then it was like, "Hello, Philip."
Oh, very
"Hello,
formal.
Gary." Shane is also is back in the comments here today. Shane says, "Everyone should be rooting for United fans to get the Glazers out because what's happening at United is happening at dozens and dozens of other clubs down the divisions. It's not even about United. It's, I think he has another comment. It's about football in general." Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree. But enough about them fucking parasites. Because again, look, they do not deserve a place in football. Or, look, I'll even be honest, in the world. But anyway, onto the game, the real talk. Manchester United versus Liverpool. We all know this is the biggest game in English football, and this is, look, for many of us, the biggest game. Like when we get that fixture list in June every year, it's like when we play in Liverpool. Like I know when I get that fixture list, and regardless of where we are, I look at the two teams I look at every year. Well, three teams: Liverpool, City, Chelsea. When we play them, that's where I always look at that fixture list, because they're the big teams. Two teams now fighting for two different things this week. Obviously, United, we lost against Leicester last night, which kind of Leicester closed the gap on us in second. On the flip side of things, Liverpool fighting for top four. There's a lot of teams fighting for that third and fourth spot coming towards this business end of the season with a couple of games to go. So two teams will be putting out full strength teams, I believe, and they will be fighting for the result because they both have a lot to play for. Gary, I'm going to come to you first from an opposition fan's point of view, because I think probably they always say, right, I know people tag Liverpool fans with this, but Liverpool fans, when they say this means more. Do you believe at this actual stage, though, right now, considering the rate, like United are already in the top four, right? We at least have we have top four already secured. That's mathematically possible. We know, regardless of what happens, we're going to be in the Champions League next season. But for Liverpool, when you consider that race for third and fourth, and you look at the teams that are still in the race, you have Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea. Do you know, who am I thinking? I'm missing one team. Spurs, other teams like that who are also kind of in the mix. Do you think this game is bigger for Liverpool maybe tomorrow than it is Manchester United?
I would say yes. Like United they have Champions League sewn up. They have a Europa League final to look forward to. Like considering where you finished last season, I think United fans will agree second is a great improvement on last year. For Liverpool, like we were champions last year. So you remember saying to you, my big smug face and everything like that. Oh, the good times are here to stay. Well, oh my God, have the mighty fallen? Like, so I think it's like Liverpool need to get into the Champions League, obviously for the revenue, for everything like that. But also, like, there's huge rumors of Salah going. Like Real Madrid always have. Like they have their eye on him. He's been making gestures towards there. So Liverpool need the top four to keep him. Mane is on a beach somewhere, and I don't think he's not coming back. So it's a huge game. It's a massive game. Like Klopp needs to make a statement that he's going down fighting this year.
Yeah, look, I think when you look at it from a Liverpool perspective, like I think you see the teams that are fighting for it. Like there's two places up for grabs, but like. I said this on the show there like last week. Like Liverpool, if they finish in Europa League spots, they're in a big spot of bother next season. Because Liverpool don't have the largest of squads. Like, when you go past the first 11, they probably have over 3-4 players who can.
They have a large squad, Keane. They just don't have a large squad full of good players that could carry you over two massive campaigns.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and again, like when you go past the first 11, which is a very look again, I'm not disrespecting Liverpool. Like, it's a very, very, very good 11. But outside of that, if you're playing Thursday night football, we've seen it before we got reinforcements in. From a Man United point of view, it can really hamper you domestically. And we've seen that with Spurs this year. Like when they got to the business end Europa League this year, Spurs went south. Mourinho lost his job very quickly, and quite thankfully, might I add, because that was fantastic to be proven right. But overall, Europa League does hamper teams domestically. You look at Arsenal this year. Arsenal are 9th. Well, they're beating Chelsea right now, so they might move up the table. But like Europa League hampered Arsenal this season too. And again, these are squads who didn't have like massive teams. Very good first 11s, but outside of that, not a lot of like world-class players outside of that. So I think for Liverpool, if they get Champions League, they'll be able to attract players. They'll be able to keep first-team players. And I think it'd be big for them, obviously, coming out of the pandemic as well. Fans come back into the stadium next year. Like, I think, look, Champions League nights at Anfield, no one can deny it, really. Like, you know, they're special nights. Like, I'm not going to, say they're not. But it'd be very different for fans coming back in the stadiums going to Europa League nights. They won't be as special for Liverpool fans. And again, revenue, Gary touched on. Like, do FSG splash out money on transfers next year when they're in the Europa League rather than the Champions League? Like, I think that's a very, very big question that needs to be asked. But for Greg, flip side of things here, like you look at United, obviously we've second place to go for. And again, that's, people talk about progression from last season. We've already have more points that we finished on last year. So already we're kind of, we're already better than we were last year. But we always want to improve. We also kind of want to close down the points tally that other Finnish manager achieved in 2017. Where's your head at with this game? Because obviously Liverpool are fighting for a lot, but this is also our biggest rivals. So we have to go full strength tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think we will go full strength. I think that was clear and evident by sort of the side we put out last night, that he wasn't taking any chances with Liverpool. And like Gary said earlier, he didn't want the excuse of, okay, maybe we drop points to Liverpool, but we've got the excuse of like the weakened squad. So yeah, I think he will go full strength. I wouldn't be surprised if we went full strength and then just sort of sat back as we did in the first game, because Liverpool, Gary was right, like Liverpool have to come out and they have to win this game. Like, it's plain and simple. If they want Champions League, they need to win games of football, and tomorrow it needs to start for them tomorrow. So they might come out and they might point United's hands a bit if they're trying to pop the ball around and really come forward and attack. I think Rashford will be so key, as always, sort of down Trent's right-hand side. He seems to have a field day against him normally. So that'll be a key battle as always. But I wouldn't be surprised if Man United started a full-strength team and then just sort of laid off a little bit and just waited for Liverpool to sort of play into their hands and then sort of caught them on the counter. Because, but not to forget, these guys have played all season, as have the Liverpool players, and then they've still got a final and things to look forward to and maintain themselves for. So maybe sitting back for the first little while and just letting Liverpool play into our hands might not be the worst thing in the world for squad point of view and for the result. But really, as long as we win, I'm not bothered if we win and it's 6-0 or we win and it's 1-0 and a penalty in the 90th minute. I couldn't care less, to be honest, as long as we win. Yeah, absolutely. The result is definitely the most important thing. Amy, a player who has been on fantastic form, recently signed a new contract as well, is Edinson Cavani. Do you want to see him start tomorrow? Obviously, Liverpool still missing Van Dijk, still missing Gomez, Kabak and Phillips at the back. They've done okay in the last couple of months, but Cavani is one of the most informed players in the Premier League now at the moment in terms of his goal scoring ability, and we've seen his overall impact for United's team. Do you want to see Edinson Cavani play from the start tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, like we're saying there, Liverpool is our biggest rival. It's probably one of the biggest games in the Premier League every season. So definitely starting a player that's in really great form at the minute is a must. Same with Pogba, Bruno, Shaw. I think he should go full strength tomorrow, because at the end of the day as well, Leicester have closed the gap on us, so we're going to want to secure second. So we're going to need 3 points, and I know Liverpool are probably going to test us, but don't really care, to be honest. We're going to need 3 points.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like, look, it's massively important. Like, it's to get that second place, to really shut up some of it's not even rival fans, it's actually our fucking own fans. Certain wet wipes in this fan base, not going to name them, but you all know who they are, guys. Anyone who knows me knows what I'm talking about, in terms of, they say this manager isn't good enough for this football club and this manager, can't achieve what we need to achieve. But like, look, again, he's improving season on season, and we're in a fucking Europa League final, we're in second place. What fucking more do you want? Like, do you know what I mean, with this current crop of players? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think obviously next year, like, we want to improve and get a couple of more faces in and then challenge the league. I think that's, if we get players in, that's realistic. But this current squad, and you look at Manchester City squad, not good enough to win the fucking Premier League title. So again, 100% progression, and that's what next season we want to see. Gary, as this is your first time I'm on Devil's Advocate on the United show, I understand this is your first time meeting, well, your second time meeting Amy, but it's your first time meeting Greg. I understand you have a couple of questions for the guys.
I do, like, and it's all based around the rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool. So, Amy, I'll go to you first, because that's how I have the questions written out. So, what's what's your first memory of the rivalry? Like, you've probably seen the match before, but like, what's the first memory that made you go, oh, wow, this is more than just football? Like, what was your first memory that you can think of?
That's actually a hard question, because I think my whole life, obviously, I've always been told, like when I was really small, when you're like 3 or 4, you don't really understand the game yet, but you're always told, oh, you have to hate Liverpool, if you support United. But I'd say, I wouldn't say this is the first memory. But you remember back in the day when Suarez was playing for Liverpool, and obviously he was, I don't know why this is coming to my head, but you remember when at the end of a game and Evra mimicked Suarez biting?
Yeah,
I don't know why that's the first memory coming to my head, but yeah, I always hated Liverpool, but I think one of the players I always hated Liverpool was Suarez. I don't know why that's the first memory coming to my head, but it is.
It more highlighted the rivalry because he had to do it down in the Stretford end as well, like just to inflame the whole situation. Okay, well, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Greg, I have a different one for you. So, would the English game be nothing without the rivalry of Liverpool United? If you take Liverpool United out of the league, would the league be the same?
I don't know. Well, no, I don't think it would. Certainly not in that sort of mid-2000s era when it was Vidic and Torres just sort of looking to murder each other twice a season. I don't think it would. I think the fact that Liverpool and Man United in that game is in there, because even the neutrals can enjoy it and they'll watch it, and like, it's the biggest game in England. It just is. It's the two biggest teams, two biggest clubs, and there is like a rivalry there and somewhat of a hatred as well, for either team. No, I don't think it would be the same. I think both teams, but at the same time, I think both teams need each other as well. Like, I think both teams definitely need each other. I think what's driven probably Man United more so in the last sort of 18 months is how well Liverpool did over the last sort of few years. And I wouldn't be surprised if Man United were to win something in the next couple of seasons that Liverpool came screaming back as well. So I think they both sort of need each other, and I think the league and English football needs them as well.
Okay.
Do you know what? This is my one.
Go on, Keane, go on.
This is literally, in regards to Amy's question, this is literally my first proper memory in terms of what this rivalry meant. And Gary Neville, in front of the Liverpool fans, and he's literally like that, do you know what I mean? That was my proper. That's when I knew this is what this rivalry means. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Okay. There's some really good answers. Just the ones even popping up there, like the Forlan goal at Anfield, just Dudek popping it. Yeah. Oh, I just bringing back bad memories there more than anything. I think, Keane, I'll come to you then finally, right? So, what's your most sickening moment? You're, as a United fan, watching Liverpool. So what's the one moment when you're just like, I have to listen to this for the next year, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years? What's that one moment that just sickens you?
Well, obviously, look, one of them, I was going to give an honourable mention to one of them, is when it was my confirmation day and Liverpool bet us 4-1 at Old Trafford. That was a very sickening moment. That was your
confirmation day?
Yeah.
I think that was my confirmation day too, I remember that.
Oh,
that
Jesus
was awful.
Christ. I'm here with children.
But look, look, the most sickening moment, I think it's every United fan, the most sickening moment is when you won league last season. For me, that destroyed me. Not only were we in lockdown, not only could I not leave my house, but my biggest rival, Gary, you know me, we worked together for a good few years. Me and Liverpool, that rivalry is fierce, man. I defend my badge like anything, and to see Liverpool win the league, that, man, was just, it was sickening. It was sickening because where our football club was at the time, and Gary, you also know, half my family are Liverpool fans, so you can only imagine my phone was blowing up. I have a good few friends who are Liverpool fans. My social media it was a joke, like it was an absolute joke. And the weekly armchair actually only started literally a couple of weeks before Liverpool won the fucking league, so we had to do content on Liverpool winning the league as well. So it was it wasn't a great time.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. That's all the questions I have, but I did some very enlightening answers, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and again, it's good to get the conversation in. Shane's also in the comments, and Shane says Liverpool ruining the lads' confirmation day. Jay is also in the comments. Jay says Anthony Martial's debut for Man United against Liverpool. What a goal! Yeah, Martin Tyler's commentary that day, like, is iconic for that goal.
Can I just say, it is the most biased commentary of all time. Benteke scored an absolute world-class goal. If Rooney had scored it, God would have heard about it. Martial goes along and he puts a tap in past Skrtel, and it's lauded as the greatest goal of all time. I was just like, there's Man United bias right there.
Shane's also in the comments. He says, when Liverpool beat us 3-0 at Old Trafford on the Moyes, I slept with a bottle of rum beside me for a week. Oh, fuck. That young fella, boy, I swear to God, boy. It just fucking cracks me up. Victoria's Secret thoughts from the comments. When Liverpool won the league last year, I didn't turn on Sky Sports News for a week. Yeah, I muted on Twitter last year when Liverpool won the league. Like, everyone knows I'm really active on Twitter. I muted Liverpool. I muted Champions. I muted every player's name in the squad. I muted Premier League. I muted absolutely everything to do with. I muted 30. I actually muted years. I muted absolutely everything that was associated with that title win for about a couple of weeks because I really didn't want to face it. Gary knows this already. Like, he's absolutely delighted there. But but yeah, it was a painful time. It was a painful time. But kind of moving on to the show. Because look, obviously, big rivalry, big teams. We all know that these two teams are the biggest in English football. I'm actually going to go back up in the comments now because Shane had a question for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to Shane's question. Actually, no, sorry. I'm going to come to one of Shane's questions before I was going to go to this one. He has another one here. Shane says, what would Gary's first memory be of the fixture and what would your favourite be?
Ooh, my first memory is, I'm really going to show my age here, is when I think it was back in 1995 when Jamie Redknapp hit a screamer from outside the box in Anfield straight into the cop, into the bottom corner, but at the cop end, and the place went bananas. I remember I was in the Greyhound with my father, United and Liverpool fans, but the banter that happened, and I remember asking my father, what happened there? And my father just told me everything about it, and I was just like, okay. I was like, now I know why the pub was packed for it. That's probably my first memory of the fixture and knew what it was like. My favourite memory is definitely the 4-1 at Old Trafford.
Yeah, look, again, that's many United fans' favourite memories for that fixture. But I'm going to come to one of Shane's questions. I wanted to address it later on in the show, but we said I had a question for the guys, but I'm going to come to that after this one. Shane says here, if the comment will load up for me now, we're quickly going to pick a combined 11 for each panel member, and we're going to do this off the cuff. No preparation, right? We're going to pick a combined 11 here off the cuff. Just like Manchester United play sometimes.
No injuries. No injuries.
Fuck it, we go no injuries. We'll go no injuries.
Or or do you want to go? No, we'll go current squad, sure.
We go current squads, yeah. Amy's just after leaving the show there as well. I don't know what's after happening there. Go on, we'll go current squads. I'll go first. Goalkeeper. This is tough for me because Alisson has been dodgy recently, but long term he's kept Liverpool afloat. I'll probably go Alisson in goal. Current squads.
Trent right back.
Yeah, I'll go Trent. Okay, I'll give you that one. I'll give you Trent. I'm giving them. Greg, here's the thing. I'm giving them Trent, right? But I'm not giving them certain other positions in the team. So I'm giving them Trent.
You can have Luke Shaw. You can have Luke Shaw.
Harry Maguire. Current squads, Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire. Liverpool centre-backs this year.
Liverpool don't have a centre-back, so they have to be a United pairing.
Lindelof. Lindelof gets in on the base of default. Midfield 3. We go to midfield 3.
What are we playing?
4-3-3.
Are we playing 4-4-2 or what are we playing?
4-3-3.
4-3-3.
Okay.
Right. Defensive midfield, Fabinho.
Fabinho, yeah.
Greg, any
No.
any others?
Definitely.
Fabinho, yeah. I'm going to throw this straight out there. Pogba, Fernandes.
Yep.
In the 2.
Yep. This season, yeah.
Any objections, Gary? Pogba, Fernandes. Front 3.
No.
Front 3, I'll start off with
Salah on the right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. His production has been good this year.
Yeah.
Edison Cavani up front for me.
Yeah.
Because they've got Firmino. Jota could be close, but yeah, maybe last season for Jota, not this season. Not last season.
Left hand side, Mane's been out of form. Mane's been out of form this season.
Mane's had no form. I would have put Jota ahead of Mane on the left.
Here's the thing for me. This is where I find tough here, right? Jota has been good. He's been injured a lot this season.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford has been very, very productive for United this season. And he's been playing massively through injury. Obviously, Mason Greenwood has hit great form as well in the last 2 months. I find it hard to leave him out, but at the same time, Rashford's production this season, 20 goals and 15 assists this season, like in all competitions. What you're saying, guys, I'm going to leave this actually down to you. So you have 3 options for the left-hand side here. You have Jota, you have Rashford, and you have Mason Greenwood. I'm going to leave the E3 collectively decide here.
I don't mind Jota because I didn't say it because in my team Trent wouldn't get in. Like I wouldn't have Trent, I'd have Wan-Bissaka, so I wouldn't mind Jota. But I'm really a toss-up between Jota and Rashford. I wouldn't play Greenwood on the left in any team. But Jota or Rashford, I'm not. It's really a toss-up. They're both really quite productive. If Jota could stay fit, he'd probably he'd be up there with Salah in terms of production because Firmino isn't, neither's Mane this season.
Shane said Rashford left wing, cash money. Yeah, fair enough. Look, we all collectively agreed. Amy, are you Rashford left wing?
Yeah, Rashford, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think you missed the team, so I'm just going to give Amy a recap on the team. So we've Alisson in goal. We have Trent right back. We've Maguire, Lindelof centre half. Luke Shaw left back. Fabinho in holding midfield. Pogba and Bruno, 2 midfielders. Then the front 3, we've Salah, Cavani, and Rashford. And that's the team. Reece Russell is now in the comments with a combined 11 with no injuries. Gary, let me know if you agree with this team. Mind. Hold on. There you go. There's the comment. So, if we pick the 11s based on no injuries, he said Henderson, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Virgil van Dijk, Maguire, Shaw, Fabinho, Pogba, Bruno, Salah, Cavani, Rashford. Do you agree with that? Who would you take out of that, Gary?
Henderson would be my only doubt.
Yeah, I can understand that one.
Alisson's a good keeper still.
Like between Trent and Wan-Bissaka, like I've said to you several times, like if Wan-Bissaka had Trent's forward capabilities, most complete right midfielder in probably Premier League history, he's tackling a second to none. But There's not much between Wan-Bissaka and Trent in my eyes. And yeah, Henderson would be the only one I'd really contest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think that'd be the only one I'd be kind of debating over really as well. I actually have a question for the panel here. So I'm going to come to each panelist. Amy, I'm going to come to you first in this one. If you had to swap a player in United's current starting 11 now for a rival team player, who would it be?
Probably Fabinho, to be honest. We do need a defensive midfielder, so yeah, Fabinho would be my first option.
And who would you take out United's 11?
Fred, fair
enough. Okay. Greg, I'm going to come to you first because I'm leaving Gary's one for last because I'm interested to see what United player he takes. Greg, if you had to take a player out of Liverpool's starting 11 and had to give up one of our players for him, who is it?
I don't know, because if it was like anyone in the squad, it would be Lindelof for Van Dijk, and it wouldn't be close. Like, Van Dijk is a freak of a centre back, like ridiculously good. So if you had a back two, Van Dijk and Maguire, that's just insane. So probably, if you're going to make anyone in that squad, probably Van Dijk for Lindelof.
Shane says you take Virgil van Dijk and give them Phil Jones. Gary, same question goes to you. If you could take a player out of Manchester United starting 11 and you have to give up one of your players, who are you giving up?
I take Rashford and I give you Bobby Firmino.
Oh, he sits on the bench for us, man. Bruno Fernandes.
It's just that I can't. I'm going with Klopp's style of football.
Bruno would be a dream for Klopp.
Imagine. I'll ask you this, Gary. I was speaking to a couple of other Liverpool fans recently, right? It was a couple of months ago, and a couple have agreed and a couple didn't. So I never got a chance to ask you this. When you look at Jurgen Klopp's system, you look at the false nine almost kind of role. Bruno kind of plays that for Man United, and you look at his production. Would you take Bruno Fernandes in that role? Like, let's say you take out Firmino and you put Fernandes in, and Fernandes can press as well as him, and he's more creative.
You know what? It's hard to know. Like, Bobby on his day is unbelievable. Like last year and the year before, he was just epic. Now that doesn't go away. Like you don't lose that type of talent. Mm-hmm. And the way he was able to press players, I don't know what's happened to him. On current form this season, I'd take Bruno and probably swap him out. But Liverpool, I think, need a striker. We need someone that knows where the back of the net is. And that's why I was picking Rashford. We've been in too many situations this season where Firmino has been true on goal and he's fluffed it. He can do it for Brazil every day of the week, but he can't do it in the Liverpool jersey. So that's why I would take Rashford.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Rashford has a very good goal scoring record this season. Again, 20 goals, 15 assists. When you consider he's playing out of position a lot of this season, he's playing on the right. A lot of this season to accommodate Pogba playing off the left. He's been injured a lot this season. So yeah, look, I understand that inclusion. For me,
Keane, my battery's just about to go. So if I pop off, you know what's happened.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem at all, Gary. For me, look, I'll be honest. I'm sitting with Amy in this one. Centre defensive midfield, current squad at the moment is United's biggest Achilles heel, so I would take Fred out of the team. Do you know what? Actually, I can't really go the same as Amy, can I? Because that's kind of cheating. So do you know what? I'd actually give them McTominay because Henderson is injured a lot, and I believe McTominay would give Liverpool's in midfield a lot of energy. So I would give Liverpool McTominay. I take Fabinho.
McTominay would not look well in a Liverpool jersey.
I must throw it on FIFA and see what happens, what he looks like, and I'll send you a picture of it later on.
Don't do that.
I'm going to do that later on. But obviously, look, when you look at this game, both teams should be going full strength tomorrow. Gary, I'll come to you first because your phone could potentially go dead. Your starting 11 prediction for Liverpool tomorrow.
So I've gone Alisson, Trent,
Yep.
Phillips, Kabak, Robbo. So that's my back. I've Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, Thiago, and I've gone Salah, Jota, Mane.
Salah, Jota, Mane. No Firmino. Right. Gregory, what is your starting 11?
I'm so glad that name stuck.
It'll be Henderson, Shaw, Lindelof, Twanzebe, Wan-Bissaka, Freddie McTominay.
Greg said Tuanzebe.
Bruno,
Wayne Keane's face is it all here, really?
Pogba, Rashford, Cavani.
Shane Dowley, if you're watching this show.
I think what Ollie was on about today, when he was on about players that have played themselves in to be involved in the next few weeks, like Twanzebe didn't put a foot wrong last night. He was really, really good. He had his wee Fitbit on to count his steps, so he must have done really well.
Yeah, I can understand the thinking. He could get into all these thinking for the final with Maguire being out, but Tuanzebe tax is here, man. Tuanzebe tax is here. Greg Chambers is opting from the start, so Tuanzebe tax.
I've said since December that he wasn't good enough, and I've not paid it yet.
Amy, your starting 11.
Okay. Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Bailly, Shaw. Unfortunately, it's going to go McFred. Pogba off the left, Rashford off the right, Cavani up front.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice. I'm going to go Lee Grant in goal. Am I messing? I'm going to go Dean Henderson in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back. Boy, his injury record, can he play 2 games in 2 days?
That was my thinking. Yeah.
He has done before.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll go by Lindelof, more experienced pairing. Luke Shaw left back. McTominay and Fred in field to match Liverpool's energy. Then I go Bruno in the 10. Rashford off the left. Because we all know what happens when him and Trent meet each other. So let's run that back. Pogba off the right. And then I go Edison Cavani up front. With Mason Greenwood coming on later on in the game to potentially do damage later on in the game. So that's our startings. Do let us know in the comments what your starting 11s are for tomorrow's game. But we are at the most important part of the show, my favourite part of the show, score predictions. In the last couple of weeks, I've been nearly getting them right. I got Sunday's one right and 2 of the goal scorers right. So let's see if any of us can get tomorrow's goal scorers right and the scoreline. So, Amy, coming to you first. What's your score prediction?
I'm going 2-1 United. I think it'll be tough because obviously Liverpool are fighting for Champions League spot. So I'm going to go 2-1 United and Bruno brace for the winner.
So 2-1 United, Bruno brace. Greg, what's your score prediction?
I think 3-2 to Man United. I think it'll be a really close game, and both teams are fragile at the back when missing their main men. So yeah, I think 3-2, and I think Cavani will score a brace. Yeah.
Yeah, so 3-2 tomorrow for Manchester United tomorrow. I think Gary gone. Gary, if you're still there, give me your score prediction. I think he's gone. He's got the freezing on my screen.
Yeah, he's frozen.
I think his phone's after dying. Battery died, he just texted me. Gary, I'm going to text Gary back and ask him what his score prediction is, guys.
I reckon he just said 3-0 to Man United. I think he knows his
I text Gary there now, ask Gary his score prediction, but when you look at Gary's face on the computer there, it looks like he's after taking a banger or something. He's after freezing on the screen. Gary says 2-1 Liverpool. He says Mohamed Salah and Diogo Jota to score for Liverpool. For me, I'm going to be wild. I'm going to be wild for this game. I'm going Manchester United to keep a clean sheet tomorrow.
Whoa.
I'm going to go 1-0 Manchester United to win this game. I'm going to go Man United to win this game with a Bruno Fernandes penalty. That's my prediction for tomorrow. United to send Liverpool crashing out of the top 4 race via Bruno Fernandes penalty, awarded controversially by VAR. And let's see what Jamie Carragher's thoughts then about VAR are after that. But yeah, look, it's been a very good show tonight, guys, lads. The comments, you guys have been absolutely sensational. Comments have been fucking hopping tonight, so absolutely well done to you. If you haven't smashed a like in the video, smash a motherfucking like onto this video. So again, we reached 301 subscribers last night. Our milestone was to reach 300. Next target now by July, by my birthday, is to get to 500 subscribers. So do smash a like in the video. It does help us massively and help reaching our goal and help us grow. And look, I do appreciate absolutely everyone who has subscribed so far and who tunes in every week. Look, I absolutely enjoy doing this every day. Like, this started out as a hobby during quarantine last year, like, during the first lockdown. And look, it's something that I want to do every day now. Like, I love coming on, chatting to all you different United fans of different clubs, and speaking to fans in our own channel from different clubs as well. So look, it's an absolute pleasure doing this, and like, it's great to meet people like Greg and Amy. I didn't know Greg and Amy before I started this YouTube channel. Like, do you know what I mean? I didn't know a lot of people before I started this YouTube channel, and I've got to meet a lot of great people. So look, I do appreciate everyone's support. I do appreciate everyone who comes on this channel every week as well. Look, it helps me massively. So I'm not sitting here in front of a camera talking every week, especially being done by comments. So you happen to me once. Rachel hasn't done me tonight either in the comments either. She failed a couple of weeks ago. She had to up her game. But yeah, look, it's been a fantastic show. Hopefully Manchester United go out there, get the 3 points tomorrow, and look, hopefully it's a good game of football for Manchester United. I was about to say for all concerned, but for Manchester United. And look,
let's hope we get a game, and then United can win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, to be fair, I'll be honest with you. I just want to see a good game of football end to end, but then United win by 1-0 penalty. That for me would just be that would be, but no, Rach, I haven't heard from that fella from Birmingham. No, I was about to read the comment. I was about to do it.
Close. You were
so
very close.
Oh, she nearly got me. You nearly got me, Rach. You nearly got me. If anyone in the comments knows who that guy is, please let me know. I heard he's a fantastic footballer. But yeah, look, let's hope it's a good game tomorrow. Let's hope there's a lot to talk about the coming weeks. And look, most importantly, final thing I want to touch on with this is anyone who's from Manchester, anyone who's lived in the UK, who can go to the protest tomorrow, absolutely do. Go to the protest tomorrow. Get your green and gold scarves. Go down to Old Trafford. Make your voices heard. If the police start hitting you with batons, look, run away. But don't get close enough to the police for that to happen.
Yeah.
But most importantly, go down to Old Trafford. Make your voices heard. Do as much as you can to help with the push to get the Glazers out. Because look, again, that's the most important thing we can do now as a fan base. I think domestic football near at this point is nearly secondary because, look, the league's done. But at this stage now, we do need to try push these guys out. Effective sponsors, do everything you can. Go on all these sponsors' websites. Leave the worst reviews you can. Go on to these other sponsors like Cadbury, like Adidas, like these other sponsors that are sponsors of Manchester United. Go in there, fill up your basket with about 10 to 15 grand worth of stuff, and then leave it in checkout because that costs the sponsors money. And then look, that'll also it pushes these sponsors to try to pull the plug from the Glazers. Do you know what I mean? To pull their plug from the club, which ultimately hurts the Glazers. We've seen sponsors recently, guys, pull out of their contracts at Manchester United. Like the 200 million contract on Whey Protein was gone last week because of that. And that's why the Glazers came out with a statement. They are fucking shitting themselves. They are fucking shitting themselves. This is only the start of it. So go on websites like Adidas. Go on United Superstore. Go on the United Megastore online. As I said, fill your basket up with about 10 to 15 grand. Find all the most expensive stuff you can and leave it in your basket. That hurts them because it fucks up their websites. And also what it does is advertising. It hits them in the pocket. So absolutely do that. And also, look, as always, every tweet you have about Manchester United, follow up that tweet with hashtag #GlazersOut. Because again, we all know how Manchester United love the social media spin. So let's try hitting where it hurts. And Reese, you're not going to get me in the comments. Like, come on, that was the worst. That was the worst comment. Like, come on. No. But anyway, this is Devil's Advocate. This is the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. Again, smash the like the video. Do hit that subscribe button right below Amy. And we will be back over the weekend with some more Manchester United related content. And also Three Devils and the Gooners will be back next week. And also Amy below me and Rachel. They will also be hosting some more shows on Devil's Advocate in the future, where they'll be hosting some review shows right after games. They will also be doing transfer dailies and also other general Devil's Advocate podcasts, just like this one here tonight. So if you haven't hit subscribe, if you want to see more on Amy and Rachel on the channel, hit that subscribe button. But anyway, this is me, this is Greg, this is Amy, and we're out of here.